Okay, so now we know how to connect with each other, but in order to go from connecting with each other and being able to do like the basic wedding dance couple like sway, that's just this thing, right? To being able to actually do moves and like improvise a little bit, you need this or this, but to actually communicate, this is where this starts to become important. So all of those fundamentals of how you're holding your body and how you're connecting with each other become important, because now I'm going to change that connection and you need to know what's changing. So if we want to move around, which I highly recommend, I feel like a lot of times people end up like just swaying in place or maybe like slowly turning in a circle, but like you're going to have space, so make use of your space. You can go for a walk, right? You can walk around. You could even like end up doing this, where you're walking around each other. And that's really easy to pull off if you're ready to move and ready to not just be standing in place. A lot of that though, that direction comes from this connection. Or again, we're connecting through our fingers. I kind of recommend if you're gonna do any like moves where you're really like moving around, not just swaying or slowly moving, go into open position, not closed, because it's just gonna be easier, I think, to direct that. So from here, we're connecting through our fingers, but not in our palms, and I'm not clamping onto her hand. We're connecting through our fingers. Our elbows are out, but not down by our sides and not way out here. I don't want my elbows up. I don't want my elbows by my shoulders. I don't want her elbows by her shoulders, pretty much ever, unless there's like a reason for it. So we're connecting, our elbows are out, and when I do this, there should be some tension in her arms. So when I pull or push her hand, I should be effectively pushing her elbow and her shoulder simultaneously. This is like not going to change much in structure. So when I push on her hand, her whole body's going to move with it. When I pull on her hand, her whole body's going to move with it. And this angle isn't really changing. That's how she knows what to do, because that's how I can say, even though I'm just like walking, she's going to feel that I'm walking, we're going to walk together. Or she's going to feel that I'm stopping, we're going to change direction, right? That's how I'm communicating that. So nothing is changing about my connection with her, but when I push into her elbow, it should be as though I'm pushing her shoulder, because this is how I indicate a turn. So it would be really easy to tell her which direction to turn if I were just pushing her shoulder. This looks fucking awkward though. So instead of pushing her shoulder, I could push her elbow and her body would move with her elbow similarly, right? Because there's rigidity, she's engaging the muscles here. But I'm not going to push her elbow either, because that also looks weird. So I'm connecting through her wrist, and when I push her wrist is pushing her elbow, which is pushing her shoulder. So her whole body is turning with it. That way she knows to turn that direction or to turn that direction. But if you're like trying to signal a turn, and if she had no structure, if her arm were just loose and I started trying to signal it, you're going to notice that like her timing isn't going to be right? I'm going to start pushing her arm, and then she's going to be like, shoot, I have to catch up. So you want it to be like structured, that when I push the arm, everything moves, instead of it being like the arm moves first and then the body follows, if that makes sense. And on top of that, a lot of times this is like our working zone right here by our waist. So if you're doing something a little bit chiller, you're just moving around, right? Maybe you're doing that walking around each other. You can do that here. But if you want to do like a bigger turn or something, it's helpful to be like something big is changing about that. So if I want her to turn and I'm going to ask her to turn under an arm, I'm going to move my hand from the waist, because she can't turn under this, she's not doing limbo, to up by like her forehead or her shoulder at least, so that it's clear something else is about to happen. Once I bring it here, you'll notice her elbow's not going up, her elbow is staying kind of just out, right? This structure has stayed almost the same, like that angle in her elbow, it's not changing from here to here. So she's just keeping basically that same kind of angle from there to there. Once it comes up, she knows something is about to happen, and that way I can signal a turn one direction or a turn the other direction. And you'll notice I'm not holding on super tightly to the fingers. So when I go to turn her, I'm almost just like a plate. Our fingers are kind of moving like that. There's just a little bit of tension there. So when I turn her, I can turn her one direction and we'll still come out with our hands not in a weird position, right? So those are kind of our fundamentals. And the last thing being, there should always be a little bit of tension here, right? So there should be like a little bit of a push and pull. If I'm walking, she should want to come with me. If she's walking, I should want to go with her. We shouldn't end up being like super far away from each other or like not paying attention to each other. Anything to add, Effie? Nothing? Okay. So some like basics of starting to incorporate movement into your connection.